Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are having a 2 days session today and tomorrow, discussing about the three saints. These three saints, especially Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, and Shyamanand Pandit. These three are very special in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. We all know about Goswamis, the 6 Goswamis, Rupa, Sanatana, Raghunath Das, Raghunath Bhatta, Sri Jiva, and Gopal Bhatta Goswami. These 6 Goswamis were the students of Lord Chaitanya, and these Goswamis wrote all the Gaudiya Vaishnava literatures. They renovated the holy places in Vrindavan. They established 7 important temples, and they renovated Leela places in Vrindavan. So in this way, they followed Lord Chaitanya's message of giving scriptures, establishing a certain temples, and reviving Vrindavan. So these were the services done by 6 Goswamis. But after 6 Goswamis, these 3 Vaishnava Acharyas, they were very young at that time. They only established the model of Vaishnavism, the elements, activities, and all these things, like, establishing temple, conducting festivals, book distribution, preaching, Nama Sankirtan, Prasadam distribution, all these elements of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, which we are practicing all over the world, were initially done by these 3 young devotees: Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, and Shyamananda Pandit. So all these 3 were students of Jiva Goswami and Janava Mata. Janava Mata is wife of Nityananda Prabhu. Jiva Goswami is the youngest among all the 6 Goswamis. So these 3 have a very special, unique place in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So today we are going to discuss about Srinivas Acharya. These certain qualities which we are going to discuss today will very clearly establish what is the quality and character of a Vaishnava. How intense and serious should a devotee be? So this started from Lord Chaitanya's time. There was a wonderful couple by name Chaitanya Das and his good wife. They were very devoted to Lord Chaitanya, And one day they came to know that Lord Chaitanya is taking sannyas. And in that place, they are going to shave Lord Chaitanya's head, and they are given saffron cloths to wear. So in those days, in every family, people who are very highly spiritually inclined, they used to take sannyasa. Sannyas was a very, very common thing in those days. Somebody would have taken sannyasa from each and every family. Accepting sannyas vows are not very easy. If Prabhupada said once, if somebody takes sannyasa, that means he is socially a dead person. He doesn't have any social responsibility. Socially, he is a dead man. So, no family, no children, no wife, no money. And life of a sannyasi is like a lamp where the oil and wick, they will commit suicide, they will burn themselves and give light to the whole world. So sannyasa, nyasa means tyaga. They don't reserve anything for themselves. Everything which they possess is for others' benefit. A real sannyasa. So Lord Chaitanya himself decided to take sannyas. And his dear devotees and followers, they were not able to digest that. Even today, many spiritual sampradaya, they give sannyas. In ISKCON, when you take sannyas, we don't have any connection with the family, wealth. Completely, they have to keep away from everything, and karmana manasa vacha. The word, their body, their action, mind, everything should be surrendered to Krishna. In Jain Sampradaya, if somebody takes sannyas, from head to toe, they literally pluck all the hairs. They pull the hair from head to toe, and they are given only one meal a day. In Jain Sampradaya, they are given only one meal a day, and that meal also, they will cook varieties of food, and all that will be put together, and they will mix and they will eat. So they keep away from taste, they keep away from everything. So sannyas ashram is a very severe thing, very intense thing. So when Lord Chaitanya was about to take sannyas, all his dear devotees and followers, they were like very upset. Many of them were literally begging and crying and rolling on the ground and asking Lord Chaitanya not to take sannyas. People were beating on their heads and crying. Some of them fainted. Even the man, the barber who came to shave Lord Chaitanya's head, his hand was shivering. He could not hold the razor, knife. He was shivering and crying. He begged and said, Lord Chaitanya, why? Nimai, why you have to take sannyas? The Supreme Lord, who has got all Aishwarya. You know, from Bhagavatam we know how Krishna was living in Dwaraka. Supreme Lord, who has got all the Aishwaryas, he renounced everything for the sake of this humankind. So Lord Chaitanya was taking sannyas, and he was given the name Chaitanya. From Nimai and Gauranga, he became Sri Krishna Chaitanya, the sannyasi name. And devotees were literally crying and weeping. And one devotee among in that crowd who was crying and weeping and begging was Chaitanya Das. Very, very nice devotee. He could not tolerate that Lord Chaitanya is taking sannyas. He was crying and rolling on the ground. And after sannyas, Lord Chaitanya went to Jagannath Puri. He stayed for many years in Jagannath Puri. So in Navadvip, Lord Chaitanya had Balya Leela, his younger days pastimes. Most of the Sannyas Leela took place in Jagannath Puri. So this Chaitanya Das with his wonderful wife, he also followed Lord Chaitanya to Jagannath Puri. And every day he used to meet Lord Chaitanya, take part in Nam Sankirtan and serving Lord Chaitanya. He was very happy. But in his heart, in deep of his heart, he had a desire to have a baby. Chaitanya Das and wife, they didn't have children, so they wanted a baby boy. And they had this deep desire in their heart. So, they didn't actually ask. They had this desire, but they never asked Lord Chaitanya. Mahaprabhu understood, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood that Chaitanya Das has got a desire to have a baby. And Mahaprabhu blessed them. You will have a son. And he will be named Srinivas. And not only that, he will be a great preacher of the message of Bhagavatam. So Lord Chaitanya blessed that couple. Then they came back to Navadvip, and as Mahaprabhu blessed them, they delivered a very handsome, beautiful boy, Srinivas. And right from the very young age, the boy was very deeply attached to Krishna and Mahaprabhu. You know, in Shankaracharya, he sang a very famous song, Bhalastava Krida Sakta. When we are young, when we are children, you know, we are always attached to play, Krida. Their kids, you know, they've always wanted to play. They play whole day and night they play. Bhalastava Krida Sakta. They love to play. Then, when they come in the youth age, the attraction for the opposite sex starts. Taruni, you know, that natural attraction that starts. Then Vrittastava Chinda Magna. When they become old, they are always into thoughts. They are thinking about this, that, you know, constantly thinking so many things. But Shankaracharya smilingly saying, they don't get time to think about God. When they are kids, they are playful. When they are youth, they are attracted to opposite this thing. And when they become old, they are always thoughtful, but they never think about Krishna. They think about God. But this particular boy, Srinivas, when he was very young, he was not attracted to playthings, games. He was always silent, meditating on Mahaprabhu and Krishna. And the boy was very different. He was indifferent to the worldly attachments. So he grew. Then he met a wonderful devotee called Narahari Sarkar. Very special devotee he met, this Narahari Sarkar. Because Vaishnava association is very important. A pure devotee who is carrying Krishna in his heart very intensely. Meeting him for few moments, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha. If we could spend some time with that devotee, even for moments, the purification is unimaginable. This